Hey guys, we are going to start this video off in Kentucky. Had a little rough time getting out of the door. Within the first 20 miles we wound up getting a flat tire, so we switched that to another one that had a slow leak and made it about halfway through Indiana and got another flat tire, and we didn't have another spare. So after buying a couple spares, here's where we wound up. We made it there. George told me I went a little too Morgan Freeman on the last video. So let's see if we can't liven this one up a little bit. Here we're framing what we've been referring to as the auxiliary cabin. This is kind of a 12 by 12 little bunkhouse off to the side. The idea behind it was that you could climate control it when you use it, and you don't have to when you don't. Also a great place if grandpa and grandma need a little privacy, or if you've got some bad kids and you want to just use it as a jail cell, you could do that as well. Everything you've seen so far has taken place over the first 2 days of our trip. If you watch as we drive up the road here, you will see where the loggers for the power company came in and cut down a lot of trees to make way for the power lines. We have since the beginning intended to get power for this cabin and the others. We're going to rent them Airbnb, and I think they will rent quite a bit better with power, internet, all of the modern luxuries. It was never my intention to leave this cabin off-grid, but our build certainly has been off-grid thus far. So in your own cabin, you know, if you're thinking power is something you might be something to think about here. As you can see, now we've got 83 acres. We have millions of trees here. We certainly won't miss these, and it does leave us room to get some nice gutters on the road, some drains, stone it, and make that really nice. But man, they really did take down a lot of trees here, and I spent a good portion of the first day with the skid steer just pushing the logs out of the way. because that is not part of their deal. They cut them and leave them, and they probably left about 50 trees laying across the road. They did cut the middle of the trees out so I could just push them. We do have a logger coming to log the property, so he'll take all these with him then. Okay, so yesterday we got the little cabin here framed up, house wrap on it, and the rafters up. I ran to the sawmill at the end of the day and picked up wood for the whole front porch roof. We are going to be putting a front porch at this pitch all the way across the front of the building to here. So today we're going to find some logs in the woods. There is no shortage of them. There are a lot of them already on the ground that have been cut down to make the road. So we're going to go here, 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 and here with 4 porch posts, a beam across there, and then we'll have more rafters that go all the way across, sitting on the beam and up to the house, and that'll make a nice, really big covered porch. So we've got some straps in our chainsaw. We got the little Kubota L2501 with this boom that I had made. We're gonna see if we can snag some logs out of the woods, get them up on the porch. We will peel all the posts, get them set in place, and then we'll peel and sculpt, I guess is the right word, some flat spots in the beam so it'll sit on those posts, and then we'll set some rafters. I think just getting the 4 posts and the beam set today will be pretty ambitious.
Steve is attempting to get this big piece of wood on these horses over here.
We pulled this big log out of the woods here. It's a pine log, and right here, after we trimmed it, it is over 40 feet long. The Kubota couldn't even pick up half of it. Probably weighs a few thousand pounds. But the skid steer, being a wheeled machine, that's all they had available for the time we rented it, just would not drive through the mud very well. I pulled those rafters you can see on the left side of the screen up from the campsite. It was great with the Kubota. We could only do 6 rafters at a time. Here I brought all 40 of them that we had left in one load. So this machine can really handle a lot of weight, but it just doesn't do good in the mud. So I had my eye on this log in the woods for several months. It fell over the winter across the creek, so we went and pulled it out with a Kubota. We just barely got it out with that machine, and here we're using the Bobcat just because it can handle so much more weight. It also has a lot more reach. We'll get it on the sawhorses, carve some flat spots in it where it sits on the posts, and then we'll put the boom on the machine and use that to get it up there where it needs to go. Kind of used a combination of this little top handle saw. This is kind of a small climbing saw Worked all right. Some of the stuff where I had to hog through a little bigger spot, I used my bigger saw with the 20-inch bar. Mike was checking it with a level. We set these on the sawhorses, chalked a line from one end of the log to the other, and then cut down to that chalk line. So when we flipped it over, we knew that the flat spots would all be in a straight line, if that makes sense. And we did a little thicker on one end to compensate for the taper of the log. It's not perfect, but over 40 feet. This thing's maybe an inch out of level. It's pretty good. And these spots are all, we checked the level to make sure that they're all on the same plane. But man, it worked out surprisingly well for a couple guys that really have no idea what we're doing, and we're kind of making it up as we went. After the beam was done, we're going to go ahead and mount this ledger to the wall using some timber screws into the wall studs. This is the same material as the rafters, but we'll cut each of the rafters on an angle. We'll push them up over the log beam and secure them to the wall using timber screws as well. These suckers are heavy. I bet you these rafters weigh well over 100 pounds each. They're the same ones we used in the house. Oh, I might bump it up to 4 ibuprofen tonight.
That's what you always take.
Me?
I always take 4.
Do you?
Yeah.
I take either 2, sometimes 3. But I'm a lot smaller than you.
Yeah, that's...
the battery ran out on me, but we did wind up getting all the rafters up, which is nothing short of amazing. I thought we would have just gotten the beam and posts up, but everybody kicked it in high gear. We worked late. You can see the headlights are on here. It's starting to get dark, and we got them all up. It's good we have that done. We are packing up now. We got to charge batteries, do a few things, get ready to leave, close down camp, and then we'll be on the road till the next time, where we'll get the top decked. Somewhere you can see over here, this is all of the decking for on top here. So we'll get that all put in, dry it in. All these rafter tails here are all run wild. Some of those are hanging 4 foot over the beam, so probably looks a little crooked there, but we'll get those all cut off even, put a fascia board on it and stuff, make it real pretty. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.